What's going on, Jarity athletes? I was cruising around on the internet, as I typically do, looking for things related to jump rope to talk about, and I'm more and more trying to find studies about jump rope because I know how effective it is. If you've been watching our videos for a while, you probably know how effective jumping rope is, but there's not like tons of scientific research. There's a few solid studies that we've cited before, but in exciting news, I found a new study from the MDPI. Well, it's actually a university in Hong Kong that did this study. Department of Health and Physical Education, the Education University of Hong Kong in China. So basically, this study was trying to determine the short versus long bouts of all-out rope skipping effects on metabolic and perceptual responses. Basically, they're trying to test if you do short increments of jump rope, like high-intensity interval training, Tabata style, or if you do long sets of jump rope, like 3 minutes, which one is more taxing on the body, which one makes the body more sore, which burns more calories, and which one feels harder. So I thought to myself, that's pretty cool that they did this study. Why don't I do this for myself, since I have the Crossrope AMP and I can test some of these metrics? So first, in this video, what I wanted to do was talk about what the study in Hong Kong found, and then what I did, because I actually shot 2 workouts for this. But basically what I did was I did their exact study, but I did a little bit different. So in the study, they tested 30-second increments of jump rope versus 3-minute sets. And so I decided to do 20-second sets of jump rope, like true Tabata, versus 3-minute sets. Now for my study, I did 30 minutes for each workout. So one of the workouts that you'll see is just 20 seconds on of work, 10 seconds of rest for an entire 30 minutes. And then the other workout is 3 minutes of work and 1 minute of rest up until 30 minutes. So let's quickly get into just what the study found, and then I'll talk about my results. Okay, so in this study in Hong Kong, there was 23 participants. They found that speed was higher in the short sets versus the long sets. That's not hard to imagine. Obviously, if you're going for a shorter period of time, you're going to be able to spin the rope faster and get more, your speed, your average like skip per minute is going to be higher because you're doing short, sort of like sprinting versus long distance running. You're not going to be able to sprint for long distances, but you can sprint for short distances. VO2 max and heart rate they found lower in short sets versus long, meaning that your VO2 max or your aerobic capacity was actually, and your heart rate was a little bit lower in the shortest sets of jump rope versus long, which, to be honest, I've been talking about on this channel for so long how important doing these short, intense bouts of jump rope are. I still believe that, but I think that I was way underestimating how good long endurance sets of jump rope are, and I'll get into that when I go over my results. But basically, they found that VO2 max and heart rate were lower in the short sets versus the longer. So basically, they're saying the longer was more effective. And in addition to that, VO2 max seemed to rise and then sustain at a high level after the 30-second mark. So what that means as well is they weren't able to see like crazy changes in VO2 max until after the participants were skipping longer. So the group that was doing the 3-minute jump rope sets, once they got past that 30 seconds and into the minute in 2 minutes, that's when they saw the highest peak in their VO2 max. They also reported greater muscle soreness in the 3-minute sets. So basically what they found in Hong Kong was that overall, it seems that the demands of 3 minutes of jumping rope outweigh the high intensity demands of doing jump rope in 30-second increments. Now, so I tested this myself. I have some opinions on this. By the way, go and, like I said, go check out both of those workouts. They're awesome follow-along workouts that you can do as well. But I want to talk about what I personally found in them. So, okay, so for my study, I used the Crossrope AMP, which, by the way, it's linked up down here. We have our link that you can use, and anyone that buys from this link, it really does help us out. We get a kickback from that, so it does help the channel out, helps me make more free content. So if you're going to buy the Crossrope AMP, it would be greatly appreciated if you did it with that link. And then there's also a discount code in the description of this video that you can enter, or it's on the screen here as well. So what I did was I took screenshots of the AMP and then like all my stats after each of these workouts. So here's what I found. Both of them burn pretty much the same amount of calories. The 3-minute set workout burned a total of 543 calories, and the 20-second Tabata workout burned a total of 528 calories. So we're talking about a 15 calorie difference in these workouts. So from a calorie burning standpoint, they, at least according to the Crossrope AMP, they basically had the same effect. Now, I feel like I got an insane workout from both of them, but there were some obvious differences to me that I was actually like pretty surprised by. The cool thing I like about the AMP is that you can also see your stats, and the AMP tests things like average jump per minute, your best streak, so that's how many skips you did in a row without messing up, average power, calories burned, time, number of skips, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to read briefly the differences between the 20-second increment workout and the 3-minute workout. Now, they weren't perfectly 30 minutes, but they were both within like a minute of each other. Because of the timer, it was the best I could do. So this is very accurate in terms of like work to rest ratio. Of course, it's split up differently between 20-second and 3-minute sets, but I did find it interesting, the differences in some of these stats, so check it out. For the 20-second Tabata workout, I did 3,470 jumps, and you'll see that flash up on the screen here. My average jump per minute was 112. My peak was 203. Average power was 13. Peak power was 32. My best streak was only 67, and I burned 528 calories. For the 3-minute set workout, the endurance workout, I had 3,706 skips versus 3,400 in the other one. My best streak was 472 compared to 67. Obviously, it's because I'm jumping for longer, but when I saw that, I was like, dude, almost 500 skips in a row without messing up. That's pretty good, because I wasn't even thinking about that. So just to get to that high of a level is really nice. Average jump per minute, 116, a little bit more than the 112, which is actually kind of nuts because I should have been going faster with the 20-second. 308 was my peak. Average watts was 13, same exact jumping as the 20-second one, but my peak was 112. So I actually don't really know what that means, but that seems a lot higher than the other one. Total calorie burn, 543 calories. What I found was that jumping rope for longer is definitely harder on the body in terms of soreness. I feel like as I was doing the 3-minute sets, I could just feel more soreness in my feet, in my shins, and then the after effect of the workouts was I was more sore the next day when I woke up. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means like my body was really feeling it for those longer 3-minute sets. Next, I found that you cannot reach your highest speed by doing the 3-minute sets. So this is kind of the trade-off. If you're doing 3-minute sets, you're going to be going at a slower pace because you can't go all out sprinting for 3 minutes. The form is going to suffer. It's not going to be as good. Whereas during the short sets, you can obviously go all out, and then you have those 10-second rests in between. So I did find this to be very effective for getting a lot of skips and increasing my speed. Another thing I noticed is that with the short sets, even though I was jumping rope for the same amount of time, it was just split up differently, with the two workouts. I found that I wasn't as tired until like the middle towards the end of the workout with the short sets, the 20-second Tabata sets. Almost immediately after the first 3-minute round in the other workout, I was gassed and I was feeling it. So I think that just means like overall, I think the longer endurance sets were more taxing on my body overall. So all in all, I think that both of these protocols are still extremely effective for weight loss and becoming a freak athlete. I do think it is important to push yourself to that upper VO2 max where you're just sprinting and going all out. But I do think in order to see real change in how you're in your increased aerobic capacity and improving your cardio and how long you can sustain intense exercise, I think the 3-minute sets are much more effective. And to be honest, a lot of the workouts on this channel are in the 20-second and 30-second increments. We have plenty that are 1 and 2-minute jump rope sets, but if anything, this just kind of showed me I want to do more endurance sets and more endurance workouts with the jump rope, because I think there's a lot of benefits that you can have with those types of workouts that maybe we haven't fully tapped into on this channel. So would be awesome to hear what you guys think down below if I'm missing anything, but make sure to go check out and do those other workouts that I shot for this actual video. But yeah, overall, I think jump rope is still the best bang for your buck fitness tool that you can use to lose weight and become a just more well-rounded athlete. So I'm always looking for continued, just studies and stuff on the internet talking about jump rope and doing experiments of my own to see what I think. So thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, we have our jump ropes, and you can get the AMP, and you can also get ropeless too. If you can't do our workouts with a regular jump rope, ropeless is another great option. Don't forget to check out the jump rope mat to save your ropes. Yeah, that's about it. All those links are in the description below and up here on the screen. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.